Do I have everybody's attention now?
This is it, Josh! This is it!
Hello. It is. Wait 1 second. Kimberly, Mom, can you be quiet for a second? Thank you. All right. Yeah, I had to tell my family to do a little hush it down. It's getting late. I know this is not a great prime spot to be in my kitchen talking loudly. But anyways, we're here in WrestlePoint reviewing Monday Night Raw and AEW. First of all, I'm very happy to have Thomas back from Chicago. It seems Thomas said you go to Chicago when AEW isn't in town. So explain that.
They were technically in town this week.
They're in town tonight.
Yeah, today.
So I just happened to be in Chicago when nothing exciting was happening.
Did you get a CM Punk autograph from me? No?
As if I'm supposed to be able to find CM Punk in Chicago. Trust me, I looked. He's hard to find.
There you go. Now you can see my face. Yeah, but we had a very interesting Raw. So, Eric, you can go ahead and start us off with what happened on Monday.
We most certainly had a very interesting Raw. So this is the Monday Night Raw from August 30th. So we started off with Damian Priest coming out for his United States Open Challenge, which turned out to just be a really long promo segment. So he comes out, he does. So first of all, the announcers, they say, who has more momentum than Damian Priest, which is pretty comical because he didn't even get the pin in his match last week. I think there are a million people that have more momentum than him. But anyway, he comes out, he's doing, cuts a nice little promo about, I want to be a United States champion that brings the prestige to the belt like John Cena and Rey Mysterio. He names a couple of really good United States champions and says the best way to do that is to have bring back the United States Open Challenge. And, there's a lot. When John Cena did it, I loved it. I think John Cena really did make a lot of stars and have some really good matches with people in that. So I was pretty excited for this. And then it's answered by Sheamus, which is probably, I think, the most boring person that could have been picked for this. Not because Sheamus himself is boring, but because we literally just saw this on SummerSlam. So I was very disappointed when he came out and he cuts a promo, the classic former champion saying, I'm going to get that thing back promo. And then he's interrupted by the one person that I didn't want to see at all, was Drew McIntyre. Literally in my notes, I literally say, Drew's music hits, please get the fuck out of here. And Drew cuts a promo, ironically saying, I think it's time, like people don't want to see Sheamus and Damian Priest. They want to see something new. And by something new, you mean you who's been doing the same thing every single time and gets every single title match. That's something new, apparently, is Drew McIntyre getting a title shot. And so this is going to keep going. It's going to sound like I'm lying with how many people come out, but this opening segment was complete fucking mess.
It reminded me of Friday, the opening segment of that.
So Drew cuts a short promo, pretty much saying, I should get this U.S. title shot, even though it's an open challenge. The rules and Sheamus followed the rules of an open challenge. He should get the shot. But anyway, then out comes MVP and Lashley. So now there's 5 people out there. And now they're saying, Lashley's saying, I want the title shot because I want to be a double champion. And so they go back and forth. And then somehow, who came out? Yeah. And then RK Bro comes out. So now there's 7 people out. And I don't remember what exactly they came out to say. All I remember thinking is, why is Matt Riddle talking? I really hate this. And then somehow it turned into Lashley saying, wait, now I want the tag team championships. So there's 7 people out there and they're all just talking about random. Remember, this started off with Damian Priest, and Damian Priest hasn't said a word in probably about 10 minutes at this point. And then Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce come out, and they're pretty much the acting general managers to make a couple matches official. They say, okay, you know what? We have 2 great main events. Make a mental note that they said 2 great main events.
No such thing. There's only one.
No. Well, I mean, technically, yes. But it gets even funnier later in the show. So They make it official. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus Sheamus for the United States title. And then also RK Bro versus Lashley and MVP for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So that's about 15 minutes of television time right there. It looks like they're pitching to a break. And then Rhea Ripley's music hits. so now there's 3 people in the ring. There's 2 tag teams out there, so there's 7 people plus 2 general managers. There's 9 people. Rhea Ripley's music hits. There's 10. I have no idea what's going on. Turns out her music hitting and her was just like to pitch to the break for them to say, "Oh, she has a match coming up right now." Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I want us to say, did you guys hear the backstage rumors about this card in general and Monday Night Raw?
Depends what you're talking about.
So it turns out that Vince McMahon tore up the script 2 times throughout the show, and that's the reason we actually got a lot of wrestling tonight. Because a lot of these plans that he formerly had were scrapped, and they didn't have a idea of what they were gonna do until like 6:30. So like 90 minutes before the show, which is insane.
That's fairly normal for them though, and
but like it's just
and to say there was a lot of wrestling on this show is debatable.
For a Raw,
For Raw,
there was a lot, but I couldn't get over. First of all, just how like ridiculous this entire opening segment was. It was so ridiculous, and nothing like whenever it seemed like they were getting some momentum toward one thing, then more people would come out, and it would just get more and more weird. And then it just ends with probably the worst way you can introduce a match. Why is Rhea Ripley making her entrance when there are still 9 people out there? Are we really expecting for the match to start now? Like,
I thought she was gonna join the men's division for a second. I was like, "Well,"
I had no idea what the hell she was going out there for. Like, the last thing I thought was, "Oh, she's literally coming out to have a match right now." No, that's exactly what it was. We're gonna start this match with 9 people out here. It was so dumb. So that was the opening segment.
Yeah.
And so what do you guys think of this mess?
My favorite of this whole thing was the first words that came to me was last Saturday at SummerSlam, when SummerSlam was 2 Saturdays ago. So he immediately messed that up. And I was excited at first when you hear open challenge, you think, "Oh, surprise, maybe an NXT call or something like that." But then you get the former champion, and then the guy that nobody wants to see fight for a championship because that's all he does all the time. And I didn't hate the segment. I feel like I didn't hate the segment as much as you guys did, but I did. I think it was unnecessary. I know. And
it was a mess.
Bobby Lashley just looks like a guy in the Golden State Warriors. He sees the like shiny gold. He's like, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that." So yeah, I didn't hate the segment, but I thought it would. You could have definitely had triple threat match without having 25 other people join them.
There were a million better ways to book 2 matches onto the card than have everyone on the roster come out at once. And also another side note I'd like to make: MVP is still wearing the Hurt Business chain, and it makes no sense. But yeah, anyway, Dom, what'd you think?
I was thinking of making a reference to too many cooks. Just another person. I think I said it to Cody or both of you in our chat. I'm expecting who is it? Who's the 24/7 championship?
Reggie.
I was expecting Reggie to run out and everybody like from the locker room like chasing him, like everyone might as well.
Why not?
Come on.
You know why?
Yeah, why not?
Because
I would have
half the roster's already out there. Just
I would have enjoyed it much more than what ever happened. But this segment, yeah, I didn't enjoy it much, and that is a big statement for me.
Yeah, so we didn't get off to the best start, but then we come back from break and we have Rhea Ripley versus Shanna Basler. Which actually, I was excited for this match because these are 2 of my favorite female wrestlers in the business. I think, and I'm pretty sure. I think Cody, I'm pretty sure we've talked about it. And I think Cody, you agree with me when I say Shanna Basler is just she's way too good to be getting what she's getting right now. So her in a singles match, especially with Rhea Ripley, I was really excited for it. But the match, it ended up, I didn't like the match at all. So it starts off with Nikki Ash coming out to be in Rhea Ripley's corner, which we all know that's stupid. And then Shanna Basler comes out with Nia Jax. So now at ringside, we have Nikki Ash, Rhea Ripley, Shanna Basler, Nia Jax. Where have I seen this before? Oh, yeah, last week. We saw these 4 girls last week. And then before the match starts, Nia gets the mic. For some reason, she says, like, "Oh, by the way, before this match is over, Nikki and Rhea, I'm going to splatter both of you. And then later, I'm going to splatter." She threw some shade at Shayna. She's like, "I don't know if she can do this, but I'm going to flatten you both. And then later, I'm going to flatten Charlotte." okay, go ahead with the match now. Like, and then the match just starts. Like, cool. Like that's one thing you can do before a match, I suppose. And so I did my thing where I keep time of the time of each match, and this was, and the reason I hated this match is because this was exactly every single, I think, Raw match. It was just a long, drawn-out heat on the babyface, and then the babyface just somehow wins. This was a 7-minute match, and I counted Rhea Ripley got 56 seconds of offense. She got a little shot to begin the match, but then Shayna Baszler quickly takes control. And she just kind of, and then Shayna Baszler just kicks her ass for a little bit. Does this really dumb spot where she lifts the apron up off the canvas and puts Rhea Ripley's hand under it as if to trap her. And Rhea Ripley apparently can't just take her hand out. She literally sits there until Shayna Baszler stomps on it. And then she pulls it out like, oh, that hurts. And take your hand out there. So there's just this big, long, drawn-out heat. And then I'm going to turn the page around really quick. So there's big, long, drawn-out heat. And then Rhea Ripley gets a nice little comeback. But then, again, it lasts less than a minute before Shayna Baszler just takes all the momentum back. And then they cut to Nikki Ash, who's bouncing around like an idiot, just making just in case anyone started taking this seriously, you cut to Nikki Ash and make sure that we remember that this is all just a joke. And then Rhea Ripley goes down and she looks up and does the whole like bring it on thing to absolutely no pop. The crowd is dead silent, and it just makes this look really stupid because the crowd was just not into it. And then Nia does her thing. She goes and she flattens Nikki Ash, and I really liked it. That was my favorite part of the match, was watching Nikki Ash just get crushed. And then Shayna goes for a roll-up. Rhea Ripley counters with a roll-up, 1, 2, 3. And that is how you get your – take notes, everybody. If you're starting a promotion, that's how you get your babyface over. Let them get their asses kicked for the entire match, then win by a fluke roll-up.
It worked for John Cena.
That gets them over strong like you cannot believe. Fluke roll-ups after getting your ass kicked. Rhea Ripley's a star. Just no. It's stupid. Dumb finish, dumb match. I didn't like it. This match, if you give these girls 15 minutes and no gimmicks at ringside and just nothing stupid happening, I bet they could have a great match. But this wasn't.
Who else? You know who else is a star? Shayna Baszler, and look what they're doing to her. It's really a travesty. I'm like to refer back to what happened before the pandemic era. Shayna Baszler squashed a whole elimination chamber. That was fantastic to watch. And now she's basically a sidekick to Nia. I don't even want to say her name. Nia Jax. I don't really care.
A lot more on her later, by the way.
A lot more.
Post match, Nia Jax hit a Samoan drop on Rhea Ripley, so now she's gotten two out of the 3 on her hit list.
But I just want to say I don't have much to say. I just hate what's happened to Shayna Baszler.
Before we go on to the next one, I just want to say kind of like what you guys said. We've seen Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler at an NXT takeover. We would be like, oh my god, this might be the match of the year. Yeah. And now it's like when relegated to Raw, it's like this is just gonna be so bad that it's unwatchable now. It's sad, yeah. That's really all I have. It wasn't
bad. And again, I even wrote in my notes, I couldn't fully get into this match because 2 or 3 minutes in, I realized I've seen this match 1,000 times. I know exactly what's going to happen. Shayna's going to dominate for 90% of it. Then something crazy is going to happen ringside, and Shayna's going to inexplicably let it distract her, and she's going to get beat. And that's exactly what happened. And then right after that, so we had a tag team match coming up, but right before that, we had a backstage promo from the Viking Raiders, and I don't care.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm not. I could care less.
They cut a little promo. I don't remember what they said verbatim, but they basically said
Wait. That's what.
Yeah, they're like raid. That's their new stupid thing.
I like it more than
they basically said we're gonna kick some ass and you guys are gonna see how good we are. Not those exact words. Some stupid Viking language, but yeah, they cut a promo, and now we had the Viking Raiders, a tag team nobody wants to see or care about.
I like them.
Against Jinder Mahal and Veer, a tag team that nobody cares about or wants to see. So altogether, we have a tag team match that nobody cares about or wants to see. And my first note, there's just no reason to have this match. Not because they aren't good, the Viking Raiders obviously are a great tag team. When they were War Machine on the Indies, they were one of, if not the best tag team in the business. And when you go to WWE, they just ruin you. And that's exactly what they did to them. So they've just been diluted to the point no one cares about them. Jinder Mahal and Veer, no one's ever cared about them. I don't know why. I don't know why they're being put on TV every week, because they get no crowd reaction and just nobody cares at all. And, and it was, again, it wasn't a good match. But I was pleasantly surprised, because so my first reaction when I saw Jinder making his entrance is, why is Veer his partner? Because Shanky's the huge one. That's who I'd pick as my partner. But Veer, I think Veer was my favorite person, and he's good. I like him. He's definitely got he's pretty green, but he's got really good intensity and athleticism, especially for his size. I liked what he did. He wasn't the MVP of the match because Eric and Ivar are just better wrestlers. But yeah, he's who I was most impressed with, to be honest. But the match starts out. It's Ivar and Veer are the legal men to start, and the Viking Raiders worked this match as if they were the baby faces. Were so over, and everyone loved them. So, and again, I think this is the third week in a row that I'm talking about this. Long, drawn-out heat on Ivar, and nobody cares. You can't do multiple minutes of heat on a babyface that no one's going to cheer for, or else it just looks stupid. And the crowd was completely dead. Completely dead. And then they're doing Jinder and Veer, they're doing the double teaming where they're tagging in and out really quickly and just beating them up, and no one's reacting, which makes this match just insanely boring. And it leads to a kind of hot tag, I guess. And then they tag right back out, and Ivar does this big somersault off the apron, and somehow within 5 seconds, Jinder is perfectly fine and gets back in the ring just to lose and look like a complete moron. And thankfully, this match didn't go 5 minutes. The Viking Raiders won like everyone knew they would. It was very boring, and it changes absolutely nothing about anything. It doesn't change my opinion. Doesn't change the trajectory of Raw. Changes nothing as far as anything going on in an upcoming pay-per-view. It was just a match.
Yeah, this was this is basically a time filler. I wanted to see Shanky just because I like the word Shanky. I just think it's a great name. But other than that, I had no interest in this match. I can't see RK Bro versing the Viking Raiders. I can't see him versing Jinder and Veer. There's so much more. I'd rather see Mustafa Ali and Mansoor 10 times out of 10 over these two teams, if I'm being honest. So, I had really no interest in this match. It wasn't a good match. So I have nothing to honestly contribute to this.
I don't know why Jinder's on TV every week. It just makes me think that they have to have some sort of plan for him if he's going to be on TV every week, and he just had a match at SummerSlam. I'm sure he's going to have some sort of match. God, what's the September pay-per-view again? Extreme Rules. I'm sure just because he's on TV every week, he's going to have something in Extreme Rules, but it's just why? He's not even being used as he's not even really being used as enhancement talent, because the Viking Raiders aren't being set up to be enhanced to be anything. He's just kind of we need a match, so we're going to get somebody that's not very good in the ring. That's kind of all it is.
I disagree with you, Cody. I think the Viking Raiders will face RK Bro at some point. Not for a pay-per-view necessarily, but for why else would they have this?
They might not be the next. They might not be their next opponent, but there are only so many tag teams on Raw. They'll face the Viking Raiders eventually.
I mean, true, but at the same time, I think RK Bro and Viking Raiders. It doesn't.
They might even face Jinder Mahal and Veer, because there's just no tag teams.
To be honest, yeah. If we're predicting a long title reign for RK Bro, who are they gonna face?
I can see them not defending the titles.
They won't.
That's stupid then.
They're not gonna. They're not gonna.
WWE.
But still, no. They have a tag team right there they can face. They're gonna do it. Yeah.
They're not gonna defend it every pay-per-view. I'm sure.
I'm not saying they're gonna defend it every.
It's the tag team division. WWE doesn't give a shit.
I don't have much to say. I like the Viking Raiders. That's about it.
I like the Viking Raiders, but they're not being used properly. Surprise, surprise. What else is new? WWE.
Let's move on from the.
Moving on. So remember when I said make a mental note that they have 2 massive main events for the show? Well, the first main event came less than an hour into the show. So That's what I wanted. Because obviously we know what a main event is. It's the match that goes on last. It's the match that everyone comes for. Why is one of the main events coming like 45 minutes into the show? It makes no goddamn sense. But anyway, I buried the lead a little bit on that. But the next match was the triple threat for the United States Championship, which was Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Damian Priest, and I'm gonna let you guys take the lead on this one.
I liked it a lot. I think it was like a pay-per-view caliber match. They get the minutes, 2 commercial breaks during it, which was surprising because I don't expect to have that long of a match on Monday Night Raw. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised by the finish. I did not expect Drew to get pinned clean. I was like, what? Not Sheamus, Drew. So that makes me think he's moving on to SmackDown, which is a lot of things. Cody, what are you making this face for?
That's interesting.
This is Drew.
How's it interesting?
It's just an interesting thing you have since Drew got pinned. He's moving to SmackDown.
Well, they don't have anything else for him over there. And plus, they want to push Drew more. Obviously, SmackDown is the better show. They're going to put him there. They're going to put all their good wrestlers in SmackDown.
Yeah, but they can't, like, money reasons, they can't put, like, all their marquee people on SmackDown.
Well, they're not. That's why some of them are going to get hoed.
Just said they're going to put all their good people on SmackDown.
Okay, some of them are going to get hoed and put it on Raw. And I'll talk about that another time. But I feel like Drew is going to go to SmackDown and have a title thing with Roman, in my opinion. At around Survivor Series or around that time, or TLC. But this match was great. Great spots. Do I have anything in my notes? Go ahead, Cody. I might have something in my notes.
So the first time I watched this match, I was not really impressed. I just can't get under, like, Damian Priest's wrestling style. It just doesn't fit what I like. But the second time around I watched it, I actually, like, sat down and depth watched it and actually really liked the match. These are 3 good wrestlers, even though I hate Drew McIntyre. I think he should literally, like, go out on leave for, like, a year.
You need to stop. You need to stop hating. You are a hater.
I agree.
I'm not a hater. I'm just sick of Drew McIntyre being shoved down our throats.
And who am I sick of? I'll remember it later, but I remember there's somebody I hate and you guys like him. Oh, I'm sick of Matt Riddle. How about that, huh? Matt Riddle, I'm sick of him with his stupid promos.
Who's more over right now? Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle?
I think Drew McIntyre is more over. I think
Drew McIntyre is more over than Matt Riddle right now.
If they give him the right push, Okay.
Drew McIntyre is more over for the right reasons. Matt Riddle is over for the absolute wrong reasons, and by that I mean,
over is over.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it later.
Yeah, over is over.
I'm just gonna say I don't consider it necessarily over when it's over because you entertain people because you're so stupid. I think no one likes him. No one likes him in a not ironic way, and I think that doesn't necessarily make that's
okay. I'll disagree with that because I do like some stupid characters like R-Truth, and it's like technically a stupid character, but I love R-Truth.
You know what? You can. I don't think you can like R-Truth's character and not like Matt Riddle's because it's basically the same. I'm really stupid, and Yes, it is. It's I'm an adult that acts like a 5-year-old. That's both characters. They do it in different ways.
But Matt Riddle's
funny.
No, he's not. He's funny.
He is.
Anyway, we'll have time. We'll have time.
Let me get back before I was rudely interrupted. I was giving a compliment to the match that Drew McIntyre was in, and just because I don't like Drew, I'm not saying he's not a good wrestler. I just can't stand his what's his gimmick?
He's a folk. I'm telling you this every week. He's a folk hero. What is there not to understand?
His gimmick is the Scottish War.
He's a folk hero. I don't know why you don't understand. Do you not read literature?
It's not good.
In no folk literature, I've never read about Drew McIntyre in folk literature.
Yeah,
that's what you mean.
I just think, I had hope earlier in the year after he lost at WrestleMania, and then he lost at WrestleMania Backlash, that he was going to turn into a guy that was he had a string of bad luck, and he was just going to start beasting through people, when he was in NXT. They were going to make him go on a losing streak, and then he was just going to turn heel. Drew McIntyre needs to be a heel.
No.
I think he's a lot better as a heel. You got no way.
But, okay, I have a question as a heel. What is his characteristics?
The Scottish psychopath. He's the Scottish
psychopath.
You know how many gimmicks we had that? We had that with Snitsky, we had that with Kane, we had that with a bunch of other people. Big guys. Like, psychopath. That's the dumbest.
Are you comparing heel Drew McIntyre to heel Kane, the devil's favorite demon?
So you said psychopath, and that's what I referred to.
They called him
the big guy psychopath who just beats up. Lars Sullivan.
Well, now he's just a big guy that panders to the crowd and wins matches all the time.
He's a folk hero.
He's not a folk hero.
You can't just say he's a folk hero and have that
he panders to the crowd. Yeah, isn't that what baby faces do though?
That's what, and I hate those types of baby faces.
But they're all that's what they're gonna have. That's what all the baby.
I'm saying like this.
All the baby.
When Drew McIntyre cuts a promo, I hear no reaction to anything he says at all. He's not a baby face that's like, oh my god, he's super over. I love him so much. Like, he's just there.
He wasn't first.
He was at first, but they shoved him down so much that he's.
That's the thing, and that's the thing WWE doesn't understand. Is when we say we want Drew, we don't mean we want to see Drew 24/7. We want him to beat all of our favorite heels, and we want him to. When Drew got over as a heel, no one can deny he got over when he was a heel, which doesn't mean don't turn him babyface, but it means make him the same guy but a babyface. Don't have him come in the next week smiling and like hugging kids and kissing them on the forehead. That's stupid. Have him be the same, like have him be a heel with a chip on his shoulder, and that's what makes him a babyface. That's different. That makes him a babyface, but the same guy that everyone liked and wants to see pushed.
Going back to the match, I do like the match. I do like that Damian Priest looked pretty strong, even though like he was getting beat up most of the match. He looked pretty strong at the end by pinning Drew McIntyre. That's a big win for him. No matter how much I hate Drew McIntyre, it's still a huge win. He pinned the folk hero, right, Dom?
You better just keep going because I'm just gonna.
I would hope that now Damian Priest can move on to something not involving Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Hopefully, because
he's gonna stick with Drew.
Sheamus. He's being Sheamus. He's being Drew. Like
in a triple threat.
He still pinned Drew McIntyre.
I mean, it's not like it was a one-on-one match. It's a bit different.
That's why I think he's not done with Sheamus.
He's not done with Drew. They shook hands. That's gonna lead up to something.
And we'll see.
I was hoping he'd give him a headbutt, but
I was cheering for the heel turn. I was cheering. We didn't get it, unfortunately. I didn't really think we'd get it, but thought we would.
That's
I didn't get to say my thoughts on the match.
Yeah,
fine. Go ahead and tell me how much you hate Drew too.
I'm not going to talk about how much I hate Drew because I just kind of talked about it for a little bit. But yeah, I thought the match was fine. I can't get over how I just don't like it's true. Cody's right. Damian Priest got very over at the end. He looked great at that finish was awesome. The Claymore on Sheamus, I was really scared. I really in the back of my mind, I'm like, Damian Priest is going to win, but I don't put it past them to put the title on Drew. And when he hit the Claymore on Sheamus, I was like, oh God, no, it's happening. And then I don't even know what to call the counter when Damian Priest comes up and Drew flips up like he's going to give him a power slam. But then Damian Priest lands on his feet behind him, already hooked up for his reckoning finish. That was so cool. That was so fucking cool. So pinning Drew, I'm not just saying this because I hate Drew, but I think pinning Drew got Damian Priest a lot more over because you can't deny that Damian Priest is a Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre is, first of all, a better wrestler than Sheamus and also presented as a lot harder to pin.
Better wrestler than Sheamus? I'm not sure about that.
I agree. I'll say this. I like the character of Sheamus more than Drew, okay? It's not that I don't like the folk hero, Drew. I like the character.
Yeah. But in any, no matter what you think of who's a better wrestler, based on the way that they're presented, you can't deny that pinning Drew McIntyre is a lot bigger deal than
I agree.
Yeah. But before the finish, I hate how they're booking Damian Priest in his matches. He's getting his ass kicked for the entire match. Even though he ended up getting over strong, I think he can't just be getting ping-ponged around the entire time. So it starts off, and everyone knew it was going to start off with Drew and Damian Priest ganging up on Sheamus. That was a given. And they go to break, and after a double team where Sheamus ended up getting thrown over the barricade, they go to break. And I wrote, They go to break. There is no way that Sheamus is not on offense when they come back because it's WWE. They always fix it so that somehow we're supposed to believe that he just took control of the match. And they come back, and I was right. And guess who Sheamus is beating the shit out of? Damian Priest. The champ's there's just horrible booking of a champion that every time there's a confrontation, Damian Priest is getting his ass kicked until the finish. But anyway, my biggest problem with the match was the three-way spot in the corner that was just super contrived with Drew and Damian Priest are fighting, and Drew gets like hit back and he's laying in the tree of woe, and then like Sheamus comes up and starts punching Damian Priest, and Drew's just laying there in between them and nothing's being done about it, and it just looks ridiculous because he's. I
still like the spot.
He's laying. It's a cool spot, but if you've been watching Drew McIntyre, like from his days in Impact, I knew exactly what was going to happen. He was laying there so that Sheamus would go up on the second rope and he can sit up because he's got really good core strength and give him a German suplex. He's been doing that since he was Drew Galloway in Impact. So it was really obvious. It was obvious before Sheamus even got up on the ropes. That's exactly what's happening. So
but I'll argue that real quick because we got to move on soon. You can say a lot about different wrestlers' spots, though. Like the setup is very clear, and you know what's gonna happen. So I feel like it's not very right to.
But this one in particular looked ridiculous because Drew was hanging upside down, and Damian Priest and Sheamus were both pretending like he wasn't. Like they were pretending like he was 10 feet away when he was right in between both of them, hanging upside down. I thought it just looked really stupid. It was a cool spot, and yeah, like I said, overall, I think it was the off the top of my head best match on Raw this night. Right guy won. I think right guy got pinned. Nothing other than Damian Priest's in booking for the first 10 minutes of the match. No problem with it.
Yeah.
One more thing. It's gonna I hate Damian Priest's little thing. I hate it. Little arrow thing. I don't like it.
They don't even call him the Archer of Infamy anymore, so there's no reason for him to do it.
I don't like the archery. I like when he does the rock and roll thing when the music drops. He's just like, yeah.
All right, move on. I just want to put that out there. I cringed.
So the next thing we got was a video package from Goldberg, and I don't know if anyone caught this. I wrote Byron Saxton's a complete fucking idiot because they pitched to the interview, and as it's fading from the announcers to the package, Byron Saxton goes, "Beating up someone's son is disgusting," as if he thought he was supposed to carry on the conversation with the announcers, as if he didn't know what the hell was going on the program that he is commentating on. Because usually as they're fading, one of the other announcers kind of goes like, "Shut up," because he's not supposed to be talking right there because there is an interview that's happening. But we all know that Byron Saxton's a complete dumbass and sucks at his job. But as do every babyface WWE announcer, not named Pat McAfee. But it's Goldberg, and they ask him, "Goldberg, how are you feeling?" And he's like, "Oh, I have surgery coming up, but fuck Bobby Lashley, blah blah blah." And then the big thing was, I don't care about the WWE Championship. I want Bobby Lashley's soul. I didn't like this.
You're gonna have a rematch.
Only because I think this plants the seed that Goldberg is probably the next time they fight, non-title or not. I think it sounds like Goldberg's going to beat him. And I think even if it's non-title in Saudi Arabia, I think it's stupid because Bobby Lashley can't be taking pins in title or non-title matches, especially to a 54-year-old guy that's retired and everyone knows can't wrestle. Couldn't wrestle when he was in his prime. Definitely can't wrestle when he's 54.
I'll tell you this is what's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
I don't know anything, but this is what I'm predicting right now. Right?
Uh-oh.
Bobby Lashley's going to
I can't hear a word you're saying.
You can't hear me?
Me.
I can hear Cody fine.
Hello. Can you still not hear me?
Okay, now I can. Was that my internet that was crazy?
Yeah. I could hear him fine.
All right, so this is what's gonna happen. Bobby Lashley's gonna have a title match against somebody randomly. I don't know who it is. Bobby Lashley's gonna beat that person. After the match, Goldberg's gonna attack Bobby Lashley. Big E's gonna cash in. Big E's your new champion, and then Bobby Lashley and Goldberg will fight at the next pay-per-view. That's what will happen.
Get Goldberg away from him.
I'm not even gonna.
10:39 p.m. That September 1st, 2021. I made this prediction.
Oh my god! I forgot to do my hot take segment little poster thing. I'll do it next time, but next time I'll put hot take.
Okay.
But I don't have anything to say about this really. I don't really care for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't care what's going on with Goldberg, but I just want him away from Bobby Lashley. But anyway, the next thing we got was a fun little 24/7. I have the exact same note that I did last week. 24/7 title segment. Reggie is awesome. That looks as there's nothing else to say about any 24/7 title segment other than Reggie is awesome.
It was pretty long for usual.
It was pretty long, but same thing it always was. Reggie bounced around like a ninja, avoiding R-Truth and Akira Tozawa dressed up as a dog.
Sick him, dog.
It was fun. It was fun. Reggie's cool. That's it.
It's my favorite segment of each Monday, to be honest. So I can't complain.
It's always good. It's hard to do that wrong, and
I like this a lot better than when it'll be like in the middle of the show and all of a sudden the champion runs out from backstage and there's 20 people chasing him as if they've just kind of been chasing each other around backstage the whole time. I like this a lot better than that.
I want to see that though. I want to see that again. I wanted to see that in the beginning of the Monday Night Raw, just everyone chasing Reggie. That'd be funny.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so going from a segment that was good to a segment that was really, really, really bad, we had the much anticipated grudge match of Eva Marie versus Doudrop. I wrote gross. And then I wrote the bell. Once the bell rings, I'm going to count to 30. And if it's still going, I'm going to be done. And it really helped that the bell never rang for this match because Doudrop attacked Eva Marie before the bell and then Eva Marie couldn't compete.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Whatever.
But then it goes on to make no sense and be stupid because Doudrop announces herself the winner of a match that never happened. Dumb. And then like she's all celebrating and the babyface announcers are like telling her how awesome it is to just beat the shit out of somebody for no reason. What a babyface to beat someone up before the bell. Like it's like Byron Saxton saying like, "Oh, this is so great. I'm so like she deserves to have done that." It's like, why are you announcing it as a good thing that she just beat someone up before the bell? For no reason, mind you. For no reason did she beat her up before the bell. She just did it to be stupid. She did it to be stupid and for the match to not happen.
I mean, that's a baby face in my book because we didn't have to see Eva Marie wrestle.
I mean, we're gonna have a rematch, unfortunately.
I do.
But whatever.
So I have nothing to say about this match, but the only thing I do have to say is that every match that was advertised from last week's Raw, none of them happened.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the what I was saying earlier in the show that Vince McMahon just scrapped off the plans. And that's one of the reasons we didn't see a lot of those matches, which I was a little bit anticipating. I was anticipating Miz versus Morrison and Lashley versus Sheamus.
I wasn't anticipating that match because I just think it's going to be for a pay-per-view. But they're going to have it for a pay-per-view. We'll get to John Morrison.
Yeah. Anyway, so we immediately go into Karrion Kross versus Humberto Carrillo, and Karrion Kross. It's this weird thing they're doing, and they've done this with a lot of people where they call them up before they have a real plan for them. So they say to themselves, we're going to get them over by just having them squash people every week, which isn't a bad thing. Karrion Kross wins this match in less than 5 minutes, exactly as he should have. But they did this with the Viking Raiders when they got called up. They did this with Nia Jax when she got called up. They did this with Braun Strowman when he got away from the Wyatt family.
Ryback.
And Ryback, where every week they come out and they squash somebody, which is fine until you kind of overstay your welcome with it. And they're kind of starting to overstay their welcome with Karrion Kross. I don't need to see him do this 5 weeks in a row where he just comes out and squashes somebody. That doesn't matter. If you're going to keep having him squash people, have the people have the caliber of opponent slowly go up. Like we know he's going to beat Humberto Carrillo, and he should. But he's not going to get over beating people that we know he should beat. That's just my big thing. I think they think they're doing good by him, but I think they're doing him a huge disservice by kind of continuing to do the same boring thing with him every week.
I have nothing else to add on what you said.
The only thing I have is I have top three of my least favorite wrestlers in WWE. They're all in Raw. Karrion Kross is number 3. Drew McIntyre is number 2. We'll get to number 1 soon.
I think number 1's probably going to come up quicker than you think. But I actually have one more note on this match. I think the booking of the match was insanely counterproductive, and I think this match really highlighted that neither of these guys knows how to effectively lay out a match, or the agents, whoever was agenting this match or booking this match, needs to be fired, because I counted and Humberto Carrillo kicked out 5 times. He kicked out of 5 moves, and Karrion Kross literally went for a cover like every time he hit anything. And I think that really cheapens his look, because it's bad enough. Like, obviously no one's kicking out of his finisher. That's just insane. But you also can't have Humberto Carrillo kicking out, even if it's just on clotheslines, because most of his kickouts were on clotheslines. But you want to put over his non-finishing moves also as being relatively strong. So having him kick out 5 times, I think, is insanely counterproductive. I think for Karrion Kross looking strong, he would have been better off just not having a match than having this match.
Yeah.
Now it's the big one.
It's
the one we've all. I want Cody to start this one because I'm really excited to hear what he has to say about this. Charlotte Flair versus who I'm gonna guess is that number 1 wrestler you hate, Nia Jax.
Oh my
Go
God.
for it.
Okay, so
Oh my.
okay. First off, let me say, I despise Nia Jax as a human, as a wrestler, as an overall species on this earth. So everybody was saying, "Oh, it's a shoot match. Like she's dropping her on her head on purpose." No, Nia Jax just sucks at wrestling. She sucks. She needs to find a new job. She needs to call her cousin The Rock and say, "Hey, do you have any movie parts? Because I can't do this anymore because I am utter trash." And it's a shame that she's probably going to get a championship match now. It is really ridiculous. Oh God.
This match was so bad. This is one of the worst matches, all things considered, that I have ever seen on Raw. My gosh, it's beyond words. It's beyond. She almost killed Charlotte on 2 separate occasions on a backdrop. On one of her backdrops, Charlotte landed straight on her shoulder, and she's like, she's already hurt Charlotte before and put Charlotte on the shelf. She was gonna do it again. And when people say that this was a shoot match or a work shoot, I don't necessarily. No one can say with certainty except for Charlotte and Nia Jax whether this was a shoot or not. But I will say, I think there definitely was because there was a part of this match, and I rewatched just this part that looked like they had never wrestled before. It was like Charlotte slaps her in the face, and then they literally, I'm not even joking, like go back and watch it. They literally get into a spot where they basically go like, dude, like this thing. I
did rewatch it. I'll get into that.
Like an insanely sloppy part, and then Charlotte bounces off the ropes. Charlotte goes off the ropes, comes back, and she had to stop because like Nia didn't know what to do. There was like a 3 or 4 minute part of this match where it looked like neither of them had ever wrestled before. It was
shocking. Nia doesn't look like she knows how to wrestle.
And she, even more impressive than how bad Nia was in this match is she made Charlotte look bad. She made Charlotte Flair wrestle horribly, and that's insane. I've never seen Charlotte look this bad. And then the worst part of it was she lost. Nia Jax pinned her clean. Off a sloppy power bomb, which, okay, I'm not being sexist, but I'm gonna say, if a female superstar is gonna do a power bomb, it needs to be a sit out power bomb because Charlotte didn't. Because when Charlotte goes down, the ring didn't move. She didn't like when Batista would hit a Batista bomb, or like when Keith Lee hits a Spirit bomb. Since they're sit out, you see the ring bounce, and the wrestlers bounce.
Yeah,
Charlotte landed and she stayed there. It doesn't look nearly as impactful. So Nia if she's going to do a power bomb, she needs to do it sit out so the ring actually bounces. But yeah,
you think Nia Jax can do a sit out power bomb?
No, I don't.
She doesn't even use her legs when she wrestles.
No, and she went. You guys remember the leg drop that she went for that Charlotte rolled out of the way on?
Yeah.
That's such a basic move, a leg drop, that I could stand up right now and do a better leg drop than she.
Do it.
I'm not going to land on the floor. But if you watch it, she doesn't jump. She did not jump. She literally just took both her legs out from under her. Got like this high off. How is someone this non-athletic?
You know who she reminds me of? Like a female version of King Mabel, like Viscera.
Yeah. How is a professional athlete this non-athletic? It blows my mind. And you know what the stupidest part of this was, other than Nia winning?
What?
Where was Alexa Bliss?
Oh, I know, and I'll get into that.
Because she's the one that interrupted Charlotte's promo last week. I thought for this whole time I'm thinking this is leading towards a Charlotte Flair victory, because why would she ever lose to someone as god awful as Nia Jax? It's going to lead to her winning, and then Alexa Bliss coming out and probably saying one more random word and leaving. And which begs the question: which was the pointless one? Like which served zero purpose? The Alexa Bliss interruption or this match? Because Charlotte can only have one opponent. If it's Nia Jax, then the Alexa Bliss thing was stupid. If it's Alexa Bliss, then this match was stupid. It's one of them. Time will tell.
I was gonna say she was on the card actually. She just got cut by Vince McMahon because she said on Twitter, what's it today? It was on Tuesday, 10 a.m. 22. I didn't miss Raw. I was there very much, and she just had a backstage promo or something like that, a segment, and she was cut. So she was on the show. I think she would have addressed the Charlotte thing. I'm not quite sure, but she was quite there.
But man, Vince is just.
Also, Nia Jax is not a professional athlete. She's a professional relative. That's what we're gonna call her.
I was gonna go back to the Nia Jax before we move on real quick, but from what we watched the thing today before we got on, like around 7ish, so it can be fresh in my mind. And it seemed that after Nia rough handled Charlotte so much, Charlotte like stepped on Nia really roughly, and then it turns out that then they had their confrontation, and then when they smacked each other, and then Nia's like, "Oh, you sure you want to do this?" or something like that, and then Charlotte chopped, and Nia no-sold, and then they got around to it again, but it was just very bad. It doesn't seem like there's a bad blood afterwards in the back, but it's just.
I hope after that match, Charlotte went directly to Vince McMahon and be like, "I'm not wrestling her ever again."
I hope so.
If you put me in a match with her, I'm not showing up. Sorry.
I'm not. So far, I know nothing really happened afterwards backstage from the reports I got from. But
you're not gonna. I don't know if you're gonna get that much of a.
Well, you hear more than you're supposed to in the wrestling world.
Yeah, but still, if it's involving interaction with Vince McMahon, I don't. Maybe. Because remember when Brock Lesnar freaked out on he threw the title at Vince, and it was
we saw that.
Yeah, but you didn't hear about that until it came out.
Yeah, that's not true.
But anyway, let's move on because we're getting pretty close to an hour. So the next thing we get a John Morrison backstage promo where he says, "Oh, Miz, turns out the Miz, he's not come for whatever reason. Like Miz isn't coming, and I want to prove that I'm the bigger man. So I went to Vince McMahon or whoever he went to, and I wanted a match with the biggest human being I know, and that's you." And we pan to Amos. John Morrison asked for a match with Amos. What? He wasn't given a match with Amos. He asked for it, which then leads to John Morrison versus Amos, a match that John Morrison asked for. Again, he got to choose his opponent. He chose Amos. He got beat by Amos in 2 minutes.
This was a bad match. I
guess we are now supposed to believe that John Morrison is a complete bumbling idiot, and all I came out of this thinking was, oh, okay, so John Morrison's an idiot, and no one should take him seriously because he chose to challenge Amos and he lost in 2 minutes. This was stupid. This served no purpose. This didn't put me in John Morrison's corner in this Miz feud. This didn't even build him up as like a credible challenger to anybody.
Nope.
This makes me not want to see the Miz Morrison match at all. This serves zero purpose other than burying John Morrison. Completely burying him.
The thing about it is I was looking at it, I'm like, okay. First, I messaged you guys. I'm like, okay, I think I'm off the Amos train because Amos looked awful. And I was like, okay.
Flipping surprise.
Throughout the weeks, I was like, okay, there has to be some upside. And then I watched this match. I'm like,
I think I said almost. It's not good.
But I've been saying the upside from him for weeks now. And then I went to chat. I'm like, I think I'm done with him. Yep. And I watched the match. I'm like, not even John Morrison looks good. Like he looks like doesn't even look like a good wrestler. That's
the only thing John Morrison did of note in this match was botch his parkour move off the steps.
Like it was all around disgusting. I think this was my least favorite match I have seen.
It was stupid.
Together with us reviewing these episodes, my least favorite match from all of them. Even worse than Nia Jax against Charlotte, because at least that one was
mean,
That one,
nothing's worth
at least
Mine's
that one we
still,
can talk about, like, interesting, like with the shoot thing. This one had nothing of substance, nothing.
Mine's still Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam.
No, I'd rather watch her
beat
with the doll than this crap.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat that one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was bad. I think John Morrison's character is kind of an idiot.
Yeah, that's the point.
I think that's really the point, but like this was just stupid.
But we already have an idiot on the show. We already
More
have
idiots.
His name's Matt Riddle.
No. You leave Matt.
We already have one idiot that we would fully believe would ask for a match against Amos, and that's Matt Riddle. Especially considering that Matt Riddle is currently in a feud with AJ and Amos. But yeah, John Morrison, it came off as even more stupid, even for John Morrison standards.
I'd rather see not Omos wrestle ever again. But
Yeah,
Agreed.
I'd rather have
Also in the middle, so this match went through. Somehow they found a way to make a 2-minute match go through a break, and I doubt you guys saw it, but I was watching the breaks just because I would take notes during the break. And there was a Snickers commercial that reminded, and with Bianca Belair and the Street Profits. So my note on this is there's a Snickers commercial that reminded me that the Street Profits are a complete joke and two complete fucking idiots. And I'm glad WWE decided to remind us all that they're dumb, because I almost forgot that they were a thing. But now I remember them and exactly what they are, and they're complete morons. So I'm glad they broadcasted that to the entire world, that the Street Profits are stupid.
I don't like.
I think this is the part of the show where Dom kept getting Nutrisystem commercials. Like,
yes. Oh my god.
I'll give you the rundown. So Bianca Belair is like in the kitchen, and Montez Ford comes in from like the grocery store. I got the stuff off the shopping list, because I guess they're gonna have like host a dinner or something. And Bianca pulls out like one Snickers. She goes, "How is one Snickers gonna feed like this many people?" He's like, he holds up the shopping list. You told me to. You told me to only get one Snickers, but literally what is like 1 Snickers, like 2 milk, as like listing the number of things. Like list, yeah. So like it was literally like item number 1 is Snickers, item number 2 like is milk, and Montez Ford was like, "I thought that meant I was only supposed to get 1 Snickers and 2 milks," and he's like, "Oh no!" And here, the payoff for the whole commercial was for him to go, "So I guess when it says 12 toilet paper, that didn't mean," and then D'Angelo Dawkins comes in, like falls over with all his toilet paper all over the place.
Okay, let's go. Main event, right?
We still have something.
No, because after the match, Xavier Woods came out. Another guy. He's like Jinder Mahal with me. Why is this guy always on
number 4 on my list? Number 4.
Hey, I like.
Yeah, another guy.
I don't care what you like.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't have a lot to say on this, and I'll tell you why. But Xavier Woods is another guy like me for Jinder. Why is this guy always on TV when he doesn't actually have a feud? And here was the thing for me. I knew this match was probably going to be good because AJ Styles is amazing. And say what you want about how annoying Xavier Woods is. He can wrestle a little bit.
He can.
So this match, I knew it was going to be good. But you know what? At this point, we were like 2.5 hours into this show. I didn't have the energy to sit through a match that had no ramifications on anything. So I didn't I was still in front of the TV. I didn't leave the room or anything, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It was literally like I was on my phone listening for the finish, and I looked up. AJ gets the tap out with the calf crusher. That's all I got. I did not have the energy to pay attention to this match.
I just wanted to point out, this was from the SummerSlam review, maybe irrelevant now, but Lily Doll is the WWE shop's most popular item.
God damn it!
That's all I wanted to say. So I was.
She's not going anywhere. That's
so great. I was right.
So she's not going anywhere. I'm glad to know that we get Alexa Bliss for probably.
I was okay. This match was good. I liked the finish with the tap out. I enjoyed it. Watching it.
I feel like the tap out took a little too long. He had him in the calf crusher for almost like a minute. Like,
he was close to the rope too.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I thought he was gonna get to the rope at one point. It was like, just end it. He was like,
I was gonna say sometimes we have to watch the alternative to this. He's so close. He got it. Yeah,
but just sometimes it's like AJ Styles is a former world champion, and Xavier Woods is.
So is Jinder Mahal.
And Xavier Woods isn't. Xavier Woods is tag team champion.
Hey, like it. What?
And the third best member. Third best member. Okay, third best member of not the greatest stable of all time.
Not even a top.
I
not
never
even
said
top
this
five,
great.
Not
I
top
never.
five.
I
Not
never
top
said
five.
that.
Not top five. Not top five. Not top five.
No, because WWE. I don't know what announcer did it, but the greatest stable of all time, the New Day. And like, no.
I think it's a tag team. I don't think
Gross.
it's a stable.
Yeah, it was tag team, but that was gross. But that's a
Yeah.
different discussion for a different day. We still have a main event to get through on this. So after the match, kind of like with Rhea Ripley at the beginning of the show, the people, the participants in the tag match in this match haven't even left yet, and already RK Bro comes in to have the tag match. So Xavier Woods, I don't know when the hell he leaves. He just kind of like leaves, I guess, during the commercial break, and then AJ Styles and Moss, they're like, the dumb thing they did was, oh well, what are they have to come on commentary now. It's like, no, they can still walk away. Like nothing's stopping them from just leaving. But if you want them on commentary, fine. Nothing wrong with that. All that means is this tag match is just probably going to be a DQ because they're going to interfere. But we get RK Bro versus Lashley and MVP for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And you guys know I'm a huge Randy Orton fan. Guess what my favorite interplay in this match was?
Randy Orton. Something was Randy Orton.
It was Lashley and Matt Riddle.
Oh.
No.
No.
You know what I came out of this match really wanting to like legitimately wanting to see? A Lashley Matt Riddle one-on-one match, like legit worked one-on-one match.
And you probably will. I mean, worked.
Didn't
I don't
they have
know.
one?
They had one. They had one where Matt
Riddle
Riddle
for the
got
title.
They had one where Matt Riddle got squashed. But
Didn't Lashley beat Riddle for the United States Championship?
No, Riddle won in the triple threat, I thought.
Oh yeah.
I want to see, but what I meant is I want to see them in like a where they're kind of their gimmicks are stripped and they can have like a legit like 15-minute one-on-one match because they both got the legit pedigree. So they actually work. I thought they worked really well together. You know, like obviously when I came into this match, I thought my favorite interplay was going to be Lashley and Randy because they're my two favorite guys on Raw. Randy's my favorite guy in the business, but Matt Riddle, you know what? I hate him on the mic. I want his mouth sewn shut. But in the ring, I like him in the ring. I think he's really good in the ring. And especially when you put him in there with another guy that works the same way. Like Lashley has a lot of power moves, obviously. But at Lashley's core, he's an MMA guy. And so is Matt Riddle. So they had really unexpected, but really solid chemistry with each other. It was good back and forth. I thought my only thing about the match was the beginning of the match. They had an extended heat spot on MVP, which I thought was interesting considering that MVP was the heel and RK Bro the baby faces. That was kind of reverse. Another note that I wanted to make was at the beginning of the show, MVP is wearing a Hurt Business chain, and in this match, he's wearing an MVP chain. So why doesn't he just throw away the Hurt Business chain? He's always wearing the MVP chain. It'll actually be something that makes sense. But anyway, that's just why make sense? This is Raw. But and then another thing that happened that didn't make sense was another point. Amos interfered. He got it from commentary, and it was this really weird thing where AJ's like almost giving commands like an owner would to his dog, like "Go, Amos, go!" And Amos does, and Amos interferes right in front of the referee. Somehow it's not a DQ. I don't know how the hell it wasn't. I don't know how it wasn't a DQ, but it wasn't a DQ. And then eventually Matt Riddle hits the floating bro on MVP for the win. I think this was this is the right decision. Not just for RK Bro to win, but for MVP to take the pin, obviously, because you want Lashley in a tag team loss. You still want Lashley, since he's your champion, to look good, and they definitely made sure to make all of that for naught at the end because the visual we got at the end. So Lashley attacks after the match as heels do, and then Randy hits an RKO on Lashley to end the show. So no better way to close a show than with your champion laying. Always a great thing. So. When I said they ended the match in the best possible way with MVP taking the pin so Lashley could look strong, made sure to make Lashley look pretty weak to close the show. But good match, solid match.
So I enjoyed the match. We had the greatest wrestler of all time, Matt Riddle, performing.
You better stop.
So Stone Cold who, The Rock who, Kurt Angle who, Matt Riddle. Okay. No, I did like the match. I did like that. Obviously, MVP took the pin. I think we all expected him to take the pin or a DQ or something. The Omos thing was like, what is going on here? Like, he's literally, the ref is just like, oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Because
But,
technically he was only attacking the not legal man. That's
yeah. I can see this forming to a Randy Orton Bobby Lashley match. Just because like I said, I don't think the champions are going to be defended all that much, and you need Bobby Lashley to have an opponent for the upcoming. And Crown Jewel's coming up, and if Goldberg's not ready, Bobby Lashley is Randy Orton is a suitable person to go against him because we know they like the older guys, and Randy's the youngest of the old guys. So, yeah, I did like this match. I thought it was pretty entertaining.
I'm done talking about Raw, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was a fine match.
Yeah, so yeah, assuming we're all done with Raw, so this was, if I can close it up. Raw sucked as it usually does. Between this Raw and last week's Raw, they were both equally horrible. But I actually, if we're ignoring how many rematches there were and going just on the quality, I almost think I'd rather watch this show again.
I'd watch this week than last week.
I don't know.
Whereas last week was a complete pile of shit. I think they drastically improved this week to complete and utter nonsense. So
improved.
The only thing I would change this week with last week is less Nia Jax.
Yeah, and here's the other big thing. Last week we had 41 minutes and 40 seconds of bell-to-bell action in a 3-hour show. This week it was up to 58:50. So we had nearly. When you say a 3-hour show, they only get what 45 minutes per hour. The rest of commercials. So all things considered, you had almost an hour on what really is when it's only their airtime. Probably like 2.5 hours. I'd still like to see more, but it was fine. There wasn't as much stupid promo garbage or dumb backstage nonsense. There was more wrestling, and as a wrestling, when you tune into a wrestling show, what more could you ask for than more wrestling? So in that aspect, I think it was good. But everything else was bad, except for just the 2 matches we talked about. Everything else was bad.